Okay, it looks like we are live. Welcome once again to Shooting It with Yankee. I do believe this is episode number 111. Let me go over here and close out my window here so we don't hear me talking over myself in a second. Uh, we're running really late today. For those of you that are wondering why, YouTube was down a big chunk of the day today. I started trying to upload a video around 11:30. And it would not go through until about 5 o'clock, almost like 4:30. And when it wasn't working at 4, I just said screw it and went out to dinner with my son, who wanted to have ribs for his birthday the other day, but we didn't. So we went out for ribs tonight. We went to Famous Dave's and had ribs because he likes that place. And when I got back, I started up this window, and here we are now. Hopefully it's working well. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm hoping YouTube has got its bugs worked out of it right now. Oops. I just got an email from the people who run oh, well, good. For the people who run well, here I'll what do you call it? Fur Friends Animal Rescue. I'm drawing a blank here for some reason, but I just got an email from people. I just sent them a message telling them, do you want the money from the patches all at once at the end on the 8th when I know exactly how much it is, or do you want it like every time it hits $500? Because it hit $500 yesterday, making about twice as much as I would have if we'd have sold the patches. So it's working out pretty good actually in the long run. Let me see what she's sending me here. Oh, it's so sad. Here, I'll see if I can share this. Let's see here. She said they're thrilled to be getting the money right now because is there something on here you shouldn't see if I do this? No, I don't see anything you should not see here. If I can find it, I don't see it. Where the freak is it? Application windows. Why is that not showing up as an application window? Well, I was going to show this, but I don't think it lets me share this. Wonder why it doesn't let me share that. They basically just sent me a picture here of there are 8 parvo puppies, and oh my God, they're so cute. There was 12, 2 died, and 2 went to another rescue. There's 8 that still need rescued. So it looks like this is the money we raised for this is going to go to help save these parvo pups. But here's the thing, parvo puppies can be saved and live a perfectly healthy life, but it takes treatment. And that treatment costs money. So at least they've got a good idea what they're going to put the money towards. Let's see here. Whatever works best for you. Anything you wish to send us, the dogs in our rescue is a blessing and a gift. How's Turnip doing? Let me answer her real quick. How Turnip's doing? He is being a little monster as usual. He is in the dog run with Mavis right now, trying to get her to play. There we go. But welcome, like I said earlier, to Shooting It with Yankee. I wonder why that window won't share. Huh. I got it open. Why will it not share? I'm seeing all kinds of crap here, but not the window I wanted to show people. Try it one more time. Let me see if it does it if I try it again. Notification window does not show up as something I can share. I guess there's some things you can't share. But let me see if I can get the picture out, see if that will. Here, let me see. File. What is this showing up as messages? Why is it open with? Oh, let me see if I open it with preview, if that will give me the option of sharing it. Let's try that. Application window. Oh, there we go. Now I got the option of sharing it. I'm going to have to zoom in on it here quite a bit. Hold on. Let's see if we can get it bigger. Present to everyone. I know we're killing a lot of time here at the beginning talking about puppies, but let's see here. Enlarge, 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 enlarge. As you can see, here are the puppies that are in need of saving, the ones that have parvo. And look at those faces. Oh my goodness. Especially look at that one right there in the middle. That kind of brown one with the black face. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's another one. Oh, another one. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. There were 12, two died. Da, 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 da. But look how cute. But those are what we're going to be trying to save, I guess, with this fundraiser for Fur Friends Animal Rescue. And for those of you that aren't aware, uh, we're doing a fundraiser right now. You just go over to tympistolproject.com. There's a little pop up there, and there's also a little box in the middle that you can click on, and you can. So we are live. So here you go, free chat. I'll be getting with the super chats here in a second. I haven't even started. I've been procrastinating on getting started here. I don't think I've missed it. Well, yeah, I have missed a couple. I'm like our righteous cracker says, "You ain't even my real dad, but love your channel." I would hope I'm not your real dad. I don't have any children that I know of that I had biologically. I don't want the fucking stretch marks. Not wrecking my vagina for that. Okay, it looks like I'm okay. And then I got a couple of chats from someone who looks like they joined YouTube Red because they got $2 chats that they could give away. Centurion 1006. But like I was saying, if you go over to tympistolproject.com, there's a pop-up there and there's a little box in the middle. If you go over and donate go to PayPal and donate $10 or more, and those links will take you to PayPal. Donate $10 or more, you're in the running to win one of 10 patches each day. I'm giving away 10 patches per day until June 8th. Right now, half the people who donate get a patch because it's been about 18 to 21 people a day that donate. So it's averaging out about every 1 out of 2 people get a patch. So statistically, if you donate 2 days in a row, you're probably going to definitely win a patch. Not definitely, because I mean, I guess you could be one half of the losers every day because, you flip a coin, no matter how many times you flip it, it still only comes up. You only still have 50% chance of it coming up one way or the other. If you flip it 9 times out of 10, and then the first 9 times it comes up heads, it's still a 50% chance it'll come up heads on the 10th time. So can't promise you definitely win one, but if someone donated like 3 days and didn't win a patch, I think I got some extras. I'll look back through and make sure they win a patch if they donate like 3 or 4 days in a row and didn't win a patch. I don't think it's very likely that'll happen to anybody, but if it does happen to somebody, let me know. I probably have extras. And plus, even out of the 100 I'm giving away, whenever you do something like this, only about 90% of the people ever claim their prize when it's little things like this. I wish I was the way it was with the guns. But with little things like this, it's about 90% of the people claim their prize. So I'll probably have some of those left over too. What does this say? I was so bummed about losing again today. I bought a Kydex holster. What was he bummed about losing? Whisperfish or whatever. Wishing fish. What I call him Whisperfish. Wishing fish is the name of that person. John McAllister. I think you've told me before you didn't get a patch, but just in case, make sure you send me an email saying posse patch or deputy patch, because I got another group that are going to go out in the next day or so. It's been sitting here with 4 envelopes for the past week. I need like 1 or 2 more people to make it worth going to the post office. But if I don't have someone by tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll go to the post office anyway, because I got to go down the hill anyway. Let's see here. Now to do my spiel for everyone who, like I say, wants to be registered to win one of those patches, and it's a Glock patch. Let me see if I can find my picture of it. I know I did a picture. I took a picture just yesterday of it or something, I think, for Instagram. Finder window. Where's it at? Where's it at? That's not the right thing to look at. Where is the damn thing at? Let's see. Where's today? Previous 7 days. I just took a picture of it because I just got to see them for the first time. That's not the right one. This is not being easy. Why can't anything be easy? Oh, there we go. Here, I'll share this. Here's the patch in case people haven't seen it. Application window. There's the patch right there for people who had not seen it. Like I say, I got a cease and desist letter on the character that Kraft owns. So can't sell these, but I can sure as hell give them away to people who donate to the animal rescue. What they go do, come tell the animal rescue they want the money back. So if you want a chance to win one of those, go over, donate $10 or more. We'll be doing 10 of them per day, every day until the 8th of June. And now that I've got that done, welcome to Shooting It with Yankee again after 15 minutes of blah, 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 blah. If you've got any questions you'd like to have me to answer today, or if you've got any topics you'd like to cover, just send them over to, actually do them in the chat. It works better. Emails, it just gets to be a mess. If you just put them in the chat here, it helps if you type my name in first so that I see a red box pop up there. If you've got something you definitely want covered or you definitely want answered, go ahead and send those questions in via super chat if you want to donate to the puppy fund and the vet fund. And yeah, it just pops up a colored balloon here. You just click that little dollar symbol down there, you type in your question, make your donation, it pops up in a little balloon. Those definitely get priority because they donated. You know, that's the way the world works. But let's get rolling here. Did you get my email on the fundraiser patch? The only woman that watches your vids. Yeah, you must be the one I was saying that is a very weird man's name today. Because I'm like, women don't watch my channel, so that's a very weird man's name. But yes, I did get your email. Have you fired a Bond Arms Derringer in 357 mag? Yes, I have. What's the recoil like, and what's your thoughts on them? Been wanting to have one to serve as a backup gun. I like them. I mainly like them as, like, you know, camping, hiking, you know, something for a backup for snakes or something, because they're great snake guns. Or just, you know, sticking in, you know, like on a little belt holster that, you know, goes on your seat belt in the car. They make one for your belt holster, and it'd be great to have that to just grab and go blap blap. But I think they're awesome, and the 387 mag is not bad in them. It's not hard to shoot at all. You got to think they're fairly heavy. I think they're heavier than J frames, so they're not a small, tiny, super tiny gun. They're smaller than most guns, but not like, they're not like little lightweight J frame, small and light. So they handle recoil very well. I used to shoot 45 Colt in the one I had, and it was easily handled. Michael Hill, will you take a bribe for a Kool-Aid patch? Well, it depends on what the bribe is. Most things I'll take a bribe for, depending on what it's like. Just depends on what the bribe is. Oh yeah, we have to do the TYMP pistol project today. We almost didn't get a chance to do it because YouTube, like I said, was freaking out. And it wasn't just YouTube. My Google didn't work. My email. Since I use a Google server, I didn't get email for like 3 hours, and I never go 3 hours without email. I don't go 3 minutes without email. But the fact that I didn't get a single email in 3 hours, I was like, yeah, something is really wrong somewhere. First, I just thought, well, YouTube's sick of me. They got rid of me. They deleted my account because I couldn't sign into my main account. I could sign into my private name account, but I couldn't sign into the Yankee Marshal. So I was just like, yep, they just got rid of me. But luckily, that turned out to not be the case. Mark Calkins says, just bought a 1022 takedown. Any scope suggestions? No, I'm not much of a scope guy. I mean, pretty much any good little 22 scope is going to work fine on it, as long as it's just, you know, decent quality. It doesn't have to be super fancy, because let's face it, you're not hunting elk at, you know, a quarter mile with a 1022. So it's just got a fairly decent, be a fairly decent scope. Adam Jiminy says, make sure you pick me to win tonight, damn it. You're not in the TYMP pistol project. You have a gun. For the puppies, what do you think of the Rock Island 45 Ultra Tac? I think the Rock Islands are fine little guns, and they seem like they've been getting better as far as finish is concerned, because they used to be pretty poorly finished with a lot of sharp edges and a lot of finish worn off the edges. I mean, I'm talking brand new like that. But the ones I've seen lately are a lot better. I mean, I'm not going to say they're amazing, but they're a lot better. Uh, Yankee Marshall, what do you think of the STI Staccato C 1911? Now, the C is still a single stack, isn't it? Here's what I think about the STIs. I think that design is kind of cool. It's kind of like the Oz 9, the OZ9. Here's the thing, though. I would not buy an STI unless I was going to get the double stack. I'm like, why would I buy an STI if it wasn't the double stack? And I think the C is the single stack. But I mean, more power to you if you want it just because it's cool. But I would just go double stack or nothing with STI. And I think that was the Staccato P or something that's the double stack. Mark M says, Connecticut is a shithole. Thoughts on a blue tick coon hound? I love coon hounds. I like hound dogs, period. I will say one thing, though. Don't buy like a blue tick coon hound if you live in an apartment or anything like that. Have room for them to run. Have room for them to be out in nature because that's where they love to be. I hate when I see someone who lives in an apartment in the city with like a coon hound or even a beagle. You know, have a place for them to play. Have a place for them to be a beagle. Let's see here. Did I miss anything up here? Michael Hill donated but didn't say anything. I got the one about the Bond Arms. I got the one about the fundraiser. What is your opinion on the scout rifle concept? I love scout rifles. I've got a couple of them. Big fan of scout rifles. I think most people like them that are, live in places like Alaska. I think they love them. But I like them. Guide guns, scout guns. I like all that shit. Let's see here. I think I got YouTube Red essentially promoting Google in being anti-gun. I just joined your chat and had an ad start. Well, Google's very anti-gun. Google itself is just very anti-gun. So we just have to deal with that. Andrew Hefker, Warthog 71 channel plug. Steve is a funny guy. Pups. He donated to the pups to say that. Southwest Virginia Marksman says, can't think of a good question tonight. Thanks for the great content. I haven't really put out any great content recently. I haven't been doing a whole lot of content the last few days. I've been doing more about giving the patches away. And, there's some things you want to say that don't really note a video. Like, I could say that, but it's only going to take like 2 or 3 minutes. So I've been sticking that onto the patch winners. Like if there's something I want to say, I'll stick that in the front of the patch winner thing and then do the patch winner at the beginning. So I end up with like 5 minutes of video that's worth uploading. So let's see here. Yankee, will you ever get an STI? I feel like that's like crabs or gonorrhea, but I know it's a 1911. But probably. I mean, I'm really interested in the design of them, and I love the double stack feature. I wish they did a 10 millimeter double stack, but they do not. Not their thing. I don't know if it's because of the way they're designed that they're not suitable for 10 millimeter or what, but they're all like 9 millimeter, 45. And in fact, 9 millimeter is what most of them are. And I think that might be because of competition shooters. But yeah. Dennis Jones says, I was looking recently at the Desert Eagle 1911 in stainless and was very surprised at the quality for the price. Do you have an opinion on Magnum Research 1911s? Yes, I like them. I think they're very, very nice 1911s. The only problem I have with them, and I don't know if they're still doing this, but the last time I looked at them, which was a couple years ago, they really are proud of their name because it is in goddamn giant engraved letters all across. It takes up the whole side of the slide. I'm like, wow, they really like their name. That was the only negative I had with it. But if I remember correctly, the one I would looked at, to be fair to them, at least it was engraved. It was like actual roll marks and not just like laser etching. So it didn't look too bad, but it was a little much. Let's see here. I think I missed something up here. Let me go up and. No, I got it. It was about the thing. Have you seen the Dan Wesson Kodiak? Awesome looking 10 millimeter. It is awesome looking, and there's things I like about it, but I like the Bruin better. I just do. I like the fact that the Bruin has more traditional, barrel Blanking today. Barrel bushing and plug. I like the fact that it's got that angle on it, which makes it kind of cooler than even normal. So I like that. And I like the fact that it does not have a rail because I think it looks cooler without the rail. And I like the fact that I like the color of it better, for one, because you can get it in that bronze bottom with the black grips and slide. So I like some things about it better. Now, there are a couple things I like about the Kodiak better. From one, I like the fact that it comes with an ambi safety better. And two, I like the fact that it comes with a magwell installed better. But I can do both those things myself after I get it. So I'm not too worried about those two things. I just don't like the bull barrel as much on that really long barrel. I like the way it tapers with that slant to it at the end on the Bruin. So I just like the Bruin better. Let's see here. Captain Cripple Nipple says, is there a good reason to own a 41 mag over a 44 mag? Over a 41 mag? No. Anything that you can do with 41 mag, you can do better with either 44 Magnum or 357 Magnum, depending on what you're doing with it. But is there a reason to own 41 mag? Yes, because it's awesome and everyone should have one. But as far as over, I don't know, not over. Wolf Raven 82 says, looking at a new Kimber Custom 2 for $650. Is that a good deal? I've heard Kimbers are finicky. I've never had a finicky Kimber ever. Every Kimber I've ever had has fed everything I put in it, not had malfunctions, just been good guns. Now, the one thing I will say about Kimber is I've never shot a Kimber of my own with a Kimber mag in it. First thing I do with the Kimber mags, as soon as I get them, is I toss them in a bucket, and as soon as I find someone willing to trade me like 3 Kimber mags for a better mag, I do so. But I always shoot it with Wilson Combat mags or Chip McCormick's. Whenever I shoot a 1911 period, even my Dan Wessons, even though the magazines in them are fine, I still use my Chip McCormick's or my Wilson Combat mags in them, because I just know those are great mags, and mags are usually the problem with 1911s. Revealing Hawk 36. Can you do a desk pop with your Nighthawk Falcon? No, not doing a desk pop with that gun tonight because I don't want to clean it. Haven't shot it yet. I'm not going to have my first shot out of it be into a bucket. Haven't got to shoot much lately. It's been real rainy here, and the last couple of days that it has been nice. I've had other stuff to do. All right, now let's see if I got any questions coming here. Will we see you get your hands on a Lago Arms Alien? Not unless I see one somewhere and someone's not watching it. You know, like if I see someone sitting on a park bench and the guy's reading his emails on his phone or something. Because stealing one's about the only way I could ever get one. Your opinion on the 357 SIG for EDC? One of the best calibers you could possibly carry. I think that sums it all up right there. Is that really a troll or just a smart ass? I don't know what they're talking about. If you could have any custom 1911 shop build you a Beretta 92, who would it be and why? Well, it would be Wilson Combat because they perfected it. And I've got them. I got the ones from Wilson Combat. Gary Pop tonight. I guess I could do a Gary Pop tonight. I forgot the other night. Is $350 a good price for a Colt Lawman 357? Well, you got to think 357 is a good price for any gun that's in good shape, really, if it's a decent gun. So, yeah, that's a good price for it, especially if it's something you might have wanted for a while. What would you recommend for a whitewater rafting? I'm looking at Glock 29 for bear moose defense. 10 millimeter will work against bears and mooses if you hit them right, but you're not going to have to shoot a bear or a moose, probably whitewater rafting, because neither one of them is going to fuck with you. But yeah, 10 millimeter worked great, but I don't know why you would go. What did he say? 29. I don't know why you'd go to 29. If you're going to take a gun it's that thick, and it's a thick gun anyway, you might as well take the 20. Have a better muzzle velocity and more ammo. I wouldn't. Although here's the thing, though, you shoot at a bear, you're probably going to get one shot. Because if you shoot, that means he's probably coming at you. And before you get off more than 1 or 2 shots, he's going to be on you if you don't take him down. So capacity probably don't mean a whole lot when it comes to bears. Let's see here. My Kimber came with a Chip McCormick magazine. Mine never do. Mine come with those damn Kim Pro magazines. That's awful nice coming with a Chip McCormick. I like Chip McCormick. Chip McCormick is my second favorite. Wilson Combat's my favorite. It's like if I don't find one, I'll buy the other. But I just answered that one, didn't I? Was that where was that? Hold on. How many of your pistols can you name while blindfolded? Oh, probably most of them. The only time I'd probably get into any issue would be like, well, I don't even know then. When I was, if I was, my 92s, if I had to feel some of my 92s, I would have some issues. Now I'd be able to tell, of course, the Vertex from the regulars and the M9A3 from other guns because it's threaded barrel and everything. But most of them feel almost identical on the outside. Now I would be able to tell most of mine apart because I know there's a couple that still have manual safeties and there's others that have decockers, and the ones that didn't have manual safeties, I'd be able to say, okay, I know this is my 92 or my M9A1, and I'd be able to tell that from the barrel too. And I would know like, oh, my 96 has still got a regular thing on it. So I would be able to tell those guns by default, and then I'd be able to figure the other ones out pretty much by process of elimination. But those would be the most difficult ones, I guess. Where's the Korth at? It's where is the Korth? Oh, it's sitting in a box back there on my table, waiting to be shown and shot. Let's see here. Why is this just a spinning and a spinning up here? I don't understand what's going on up there. Oh, and now it's playing. Why is it playing? What is the thing doing? Did you replenish your ammo stores? Not yet. I've been spending too much money on guns. I haven't had a chance to replenish my ammo stores. I need to get on it. I should start telling people, manufacturers, send me ammo. I'll test your ammo for you. Then like fire 2 rounds of it. Go, we went this fast, and it just basically read the box. Or actually just read what my little thingamajigger up there tells me. Only give them like 1 shot each. Like you get 1 shot to prove yourself. I won't tell them that when I'm asking for free ammo though. I got to be an influencer. Remember, someone said something to me the other day about being an influencer. I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I think that there's different types of people out there. There's people out there that are influencers, and there's people out there that actually create content or try to do something worthwhile. I like to try to create content and say things that are worthwhile. I just don't try to influence people on products or their opinions even. I like to just give people information and let them make up their mind. Call them stupid if they get the wrong thing. That's fine, but Adam Jiminy says, going to use you in my D&D game. What revolver would you like to use, and what type of melee weapon? Any special moves as well? I don't know anything about these fucking things. But if I'm going to use a revolver, give me the Korth if it's available. If not, 629. Melee weapon, I don't know. I've always been partial to maces. I don't know. I just like of the Warriors 3. I like Hogan because he has the mace, but I always like maces. Special moves, I don't know. The robot. Heard about rapper Bun B shooting an intruder? No, I don't really hear anything about rappers usually. I'm not into rap. Not into rap music at all. Let's see here. There are 2 types of people in the world: those who post ads on Craigslist and those who respond to ads on Craigslist. I've bought some stuff off Craigslist, and I use Craigslist to give stuff away a lot. Like if we move and I'm not taking a couch with me, I'll put it on Craigslist because to me it's not worth trying to sell it. It's more valuable to have someone come get it for free and actually take it away than it is to make $100 off of something. So I use Craigslist to give stuff away. The only ads it's like I will often look on Craigslist, like say I need someone because I've got to have a concrete pad poured and I don't want to do it. I'll use Craigslist for stuff like that. Nicholas Rodriguez said, did you get my email about Beretta grips? Do not need to read on air. Not that I know of. Is a registered silencer or homemade? I'm not understanding what that's about. Unless they're talking about that shooting last week where the this past week where the guy, they said first he used a silencer. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but and because he could just had comps on the end of his gun, and believe me, they would have said silencer. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept up on that, and they haven't covered it that thoroughly in the news because it doesn't fit the narrative. It's a black guy, and he used a handgun, and he's not some angry white conservative or an Antifa person. So let's see here. So does Oregoner, an Oregoner really need more than 20 rounds in a month? I think he means an Oregonian. Of course they need more than 20 rounds in a month. I shoot more than 20 rounds a day on average. Easily way more than 20 rounds a day. You go to the range once or twice a week, you shoot more than an average of 20 a day. Yeah, they said on the suppressor. I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, they said. Let's see here. What pocket knife do you carry? I've answered this question a lot. I carry my little Spyderco here. The kids got it for me for Father's Day one year. My favorite color, orange. I think it's a Delica 4. Is that what this is? Yeah, Delica 4. Spyderco. I like my Spyderco. It's never let me down. Happy with it. How many rounds of Underwood ammo have you sent down range? That stuff is expensive. More than I'd like to say because I've shot a lot of it. I don't know. Probably total. I'd be willing to bet it's probably total only comes to like 1,000 rounds. But it's expensive to shoot 1,000 rounds of it. Can you do a top 5 to 10 video on pocket carry guns? I don't know if I'm qualified for that because I don't pocket carry. I mean, I can tell which guns would be easy to pocket carry, but I don't really do a lot of pocket carrying. What are your thoughts on our Lord and Savior Godzilla, King of the Monsters? I went and saw it yesterday, and it was okay. I had to take my car in to get the oil changed, the tires rotated. So when and there's a movie theater right behind the Dodge dealership over there, so I took it in, turned it in to get it done, and then I went over and saw Godzilla, me and my son. So it was okay. It was good. I liked it because I like Godzilla movies. And it was basically just a modernized old Godzilla movie. They even used the oxygen destroyer from the old Godzilla. But I was quite happy with it. I liked it. So, but I can sit down and watch the old Godzilla movies or watch the more recent ones that come out of Japan, like Shin Godzilla and stuff. Although Shin Godzilla was so fucking boring. And it was so fucking bad because it was like, oh, look, this big worm thing climbs out of the ocean, and the big worm thing turns into Godzilla. But 90% of it was fucking bureaucratic garbage of people sitting around a desk or around a conference table deciding what their next move was going to be. It was horrible. You get your suppressors out of NFA jail yet? No, because my paperwork ain't came back yet. Can you do? Oh, I just read that one. What pocket knife do you carry? I read that one. I love you, no homo. It's got to be a little bit homo, or it ain't worth it. Smith & Wesson Model 69 versus Model 329. The 329 is so much better for carry, but the 69 is so much better to shoot at the range. But it's not as big a difference as you might think, but still pretty awesome. Some Guitar Man says, yes, roller skates, Jimmy Knees. I guess he wants my character to roller skate, which is, okay, I'm a decent roller skater. I'm not like one of those guys gets out there and does the roller boogie or anything, but I can hold my own on skates. I mean, like I can turn and skate backwards and all that stuff that most teenagers can do, but I'm not as brave as I used to be as far as like jumps and stuff like I used to be. I kind of a little more careful nowadays because if I fall, I don't recover quite so easily. Suggestions for 1911 mags that hold more than 8 rounds. Yes, Wilson Combats. The Wilson Combats. Well, if you're talking about regular length 45s, well, the 8 round is the extended one, but you can get ones that have the base plates on the bottom that hold like 9 or 10. Just get a good name brand like Chip McCormick or Wilson Combat. Thoughts on the Smith & Wesson 686 7-inch barrel? Too long a barrel. When you get into those heavy barrel guns like that long of a barrel just makes the gun really unbalanced. Makes it not a lot of fun to shoot, in my opinion. Let's see here. Adam Jimenez. Skates +3 to speed, but depends on what surface you're on. And gravel roller skates will slow you down. Because everybody remembers the Calvin and Hobbes cartoon. How do you stop in these things as he's skating down a hill and Hobbes yells, steer into a gravel driveway? Ka-cheesh, you see gravel flying all over the place. Someone just donated to the patch giveaway. Just saw it pop up right there. Let's see. Are you still having an issue with mountain lions and bears? No, we don't have it. We've never had an issue with them. There's a mountain lion that uses a pathway right down from our house. He doesn't come up in our yard or anything. And there's a bear that comes up in our yard all the time, but that's because he comes up here too. Because we throw down to our property is tiered. It's like there's like a couple acres up here where the house is, and the driveway, and the outbuilding, and then the back deck, and then it goes down about 15 feet, and then it levels out again to where like the backyard is, and where the burn barrel is, and where the pool used to be, and then it goes down another path down to another flat area, which is where I want to build my range, and then it's hillside after that. It just goes down the hill with all trees and stuff. And there's a cougar that uses the path down to the bottom of our property, but it doesn't like come up in our yard. And there's a bear that comes up to the lower part of our yard to eat the watermelon rinds that I throw over the hill, but I've never had a problem with them. We get a bobcat in our yard quite a bit. There's a bobcat that uses the backside of our property right over here. There's a tree line right there with a walkway along it all the way past our house and back. He uses that as a shortcut. I find his prints out there all the time, and I've seen him out there a couple of times. Turnip does not like the bobcat. Every time he comes, he looks at him in the window and just stares at him as he goes across the field. Thoughts on exotic leather gun grips? Why? That's my main thought on that. Someone says twerk it. No, I can't twerk. I don't have enough ass to twerk. I mean, I got a decent ass, but I can't twerk. I don't have the coordination. 460 Magnum desk pop for your boy Max busted finger. Yeah, no. You should know better than to stick his fucking finger where it don't belong. Your favorite gun you've ever owned? Oh, Beretta 92 is my favorite semi-automatic gun I've ever owned. Probably my favorite gun I've ever owned. As far it would probably be, well, it might be this Quarth I just got, but but I'd say, I always say the best gun I've ever owned is a Smith & Wesson 686. They're just the best all-around gun. Let's see here. What is your absolutely favorite gun out of your collection? Oh, out of the collection I have now, I don't know. Probably, it depends. If you're talking about like for carry, that Beretta 92G Elite LTT from Langdon Tactical is freaking awesome. Probably my favorite gun if I was going to carry a 9mm right now. But I'd probably say one of my Wilson Combat 92s, or probably my Colt Python, just because of what it is. But I've always thought the Pythons and stuff were as much hype as they were anything else. They're not all that great. The Pythons do have really nice triggers, but they're also very delicate as compared to some other guns' triggers too. Their workings are a little more delicate. So just say if you shoot a Python a lot, it's going to go out of time. You're going to have to get it fixed. How is Turnip's face after that cat clawed him? Well, it's healing, but then he got another one the other day because he wouldn't leave her alone, and she tore into him. And he comes running through the hallway to the kitchen with a cat latched onto him, attacking him because he won't leave her alone, even though she's told him multiple times, "I don't like you. Leave me alone." But see, then sometimes she'll play with him. But then when she's done with him, she's like, "All right, I'm done." So show us the Quarth. My video quality is so low, you wouldn't see anything. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on the Mossberg 590 Shockwave? I like the Shockwaves. I think they're cool. I have the Gatekeeper, which was the precursor to the Shockwave. Same thing, but was done by a private company as a specialty build. But now they're common. When I got that thing, it was very rare and it was expensive. He just wants to be friends with the cat. Yeah, he does. He wants to be the cat's friend, but the cat will play with him some, but then done with him. Now the orange cat plays with him all the time. They run back and forth, and they run back and forth, and they'll run back and forth, and then the cat will jump up on something and smack at him from above, or the cat will roll over on his back, and Turnip comes in butt first and sits on him, and the cat bites him on the butt. But Guitar Man Pete says, I currently own 0 Grail guns. I don't know if I have any Grail. I mean, I guess the Python would be considered one, and the Korth would be considered one, and maybe the Nighthawk. I don't know. Nighthawks might be considered a Grail gun. That new Falcon I got. And don't forget, it is the friend gun thing today. That's right. Today's the friend gun. Although I was thinking of waiting and doing that till Thursday since we got started late today, but we'll see. We'll see how things work out here. We'll see how late we end up going and how things work out. Let's see here, and plus I don't have never enough ammo in here tonight, so I don't have anybody to help keep things rolling while I'm doing all the work over here to choose the winner. So that might have to wait till Thursday. It doesn't really change anything. It just means I announce it on Thursday instead of Sunday. Yank, what is wrong with used Kimber 1911s? You mentioned them being hard to sell. Well, just a lot of people don't have, they believe the stuff they see on the internet about Kimber. But here's the thing you got to remember. I had a guy one tell me, I've seen more failures from Kimber than I have any other manufacturer. And I'm like, well, that's probably should be the way it is because Kimber sells more 1911s than the other manufacturers all combined at the time. So of course, if one company sells 1,000 and then every other company combined sells 600 and you see twice as many failures from Kimber as you do any of the other brands, well, then that probably means it fails a quarter as much as the other brands. But people can't do math all the way to the end. They can't go, 4 out of 1,000 failed and 3 out of 600, but it's only when you divide it up into actual different manufacturers, 1 failed out of 200, and that's more than 3 out of 1,000. They can't do math all the way to the end like that, or they get confused. Let's see here. What is the weight of your dog Turnip when fully grown? I don't know. He's not fully grown. Right now, he's 58 pounds. And he'll be 6 months old on the 20th of this month. He'll be 6 months old on the 20th. His daddy, I believe, was 100 pounds. His mommy was like 85. He's not going to be particularly huge dog. He's not going to break 100 pounds. He's probably going to be around 80 to 90, I would say. What age do you think I should buy my son his first 22 rifle? I got his when he was 8, and I got mine when I was 8. Thank you. I just picked up a Pro stainless Raptor 2. The Raptors are like one of the most beautiful 1911s on the market. And the Pro I like a lot. Do you like the new Colt Combat Elite or the older models of the Combat Elites, aesthetically speaking? I actually like the new ones better because they put better sights and shit on them. And here's another thing about them. A lot of the bad shit that Colt was getting, the bad rep they were getting about guns, was some of the older guns like the Delta Elites and stuff, because they were still using the same old machinery that they'd been using for decades, and it was wearing out. So some of the guns were coming out kind of loose and poorly finished, etc. And then around in the late 90s, early 2000s, they switched over to CNC machinery. You got new machinery. They tooled up differently now, and the guns started coming out better. And now not only, but they were still making them with the same blade sights and stuff that they thought people still wanted, I guess, because they thought it wouldn't be Colt if they put modern stuff on it. But then they finally caught on and went, oh, the civilian market actually wants better sights and, wants better, wants a beaver tail safety and wants, better grip safeties and stuff. So they finally started catching on, and I like the new ones now better because they have better hammers, better sights, etc., better grip safeties. Ever handle a Knight's Armament rifle? Nope, never even heard of them. Thoughts on the Mateba auto revolver? I'd love to have one. That's like my dream gun. But so that should tell you what I think of them. Sparky Murto. Wait, I didn't miss any super chats, did I? Because I haven't really been looking at the super. No, I think I've been looking. Yeah, I've been looking. So I'm okay. Calvin McDougal says, "What happened to your bulldog?" Nothing. She's out in the backyard right now playing with the turnip. She's old though. Mavis is getting old. People think of Mavis as me not having her very long, but they think of her as that cute little bulldog puppy. But she's 9, and bulldogs live 8 to 10 years usually. Occasionally they live 12, 13 years. And I think she might, because she's in pretty good shape for 9 years old for a bulldog. Other bulldogs I've known at 8 or 9 years old have been like I can barely move anymore, and I just want to lay here. She's not like that. Elbow, nuff said, or typed. I don't know what that means. But I still got my bulldog. Now, where was that question I was reading? Oh, Spartak Merto. I moved to a state with a 10-round capacity limit, unfortunately. Do you think I should still stay with 9mm for carry if the capacity advantage is non-applicable now? If it's what you shoot best. But let's just say that if you can shoot a 10mm as accurately and quickly as you shoot a 9mm, or at least close enough that it isn't going to make a difference, isn't likely to make a difference, then why not go to the more powerful round? The only reason you would have to not go to a more powerful round is you cannot handle that round. If I lived in a state that had a 10-round magazine limit, I would be carrying probably a 10mm or my 329 and 44 Magnum, because I can still shoot that. It doesn't kill me like the 357 Magnum does. And shooting 44 Special is still fun, even though it's expensive. 38, not that fun. Let's see here. How many long guns do you have in your collection now? I don't know. Let me count here. I'll count some of the ones I can see right out here. Once again, no one look at me putting in my code. Let's see. In this safe, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 in that one. And I know in the other one there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11 and 8, 19. And then I've got 3 shotguns in the house, and I got a hunting rifle in the house. So 19, 22, 23 long guns, I think. Let's see here. But that's how many long guns I have. Not a lot of long guns. I've got way more, 5 times as many at least handguns as I do long guns. Let's see here. Scott McDermott donated $1 and did not ask a question, but I don't know if you can ask a question if you donate $1. Thanks. I'm working on it. What's the difference between going full potato versus being a High Point owner? Asking for a friend. Going full potato. I don't know what that means. I mean, I may have gone full potato. I don't know what it means. I do like potatoes. Not as much as my youngest son. My youngest son has a fucking love affair with baked potatoes and mashed potatoes for some reason. He always has. Ever since he was a little kid, you put food on his plate, and he would always want 3 or 4 helpings of mashed potatoes. He loves baked potatoes. The kid's got an unhealthy attraction to mashed potatoes. I bought my Elite for 25% off the Memorial Day weekend there. Well, that's a good price. Would you sell all of your guns for $1 million? Well, yeah, of course, because the collection's only worth about probably 100,000 at the very most. So yes, I would definitely sell it for $1 million. Be making like a 10-time profit there. I'll just go back out and buy the same guns again and have $900,000 left over. Pay off my house and have like $700,000 left over, because we owe money on this house because we refinanced this house. Let's see here. That's the only debt I really have in the world is my house, and I have a small car payment, but I don't have any credit cards or anything, so I don't worry about it too much. How many guns do you own? I don't know. It's more than 100, but less than 200. A lot of Floridians in the chat tonight. Well, that's weird because you'd think most people in Florida would be asleep by now because we're on even later tonight than we usually are, which is weird. So that they would still be up. They usually eat dinner at what, like 3:30, and then they're in bed by 7. Let's see here. Humble brag right there. What's a humble brag about? What, saying I have 100+ guns and I'm old. I've had a lot of time to get them. And say how much it's worth? No, because I'm old. I've had a lot of time to accumulate them. That's like when someone who's like 30 gets mad because they're like, I don't got what you got. Well, yeah, I didn't have it when I was 30 either. When I was 30, I was worrying about how we're gonna fucking pay the mortgage. So things change in your 50s. Trust me. If you make good choices in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, things are a lot better in your 50s. So it's definitely worth making good choices. And good choices you can't start soon enough. Like I tell people all the time, my brothers and sisters, a lot of them have drug addict have drug addictions, etc., that they fought with their whole life, and now they're in their 40s and they're just getting their lives together. So they've missed a lot of their life where they should have been developing, themselves and their holdings, etc., because they made bad decisions in their teenage years and their 20s, and that fucked up their whole life practically. And I don't want to hear, and they can't give the excuse of, oh, it's my upbringing or where I came from. Yeah, where we came from is kind of shitty, and our upbringing wasn't the greatest, but I was in the room right fucking next to you. A lot of our life, I slept in the same fucking bed as you. So if I made the decisions to not drink, not do drugs, not hang around with people that are trouble, not get in trouble, do well in school, etc., because I knew it was going to have a benefit later, you could have made the same decisions, but you didn't. Like some of my brothers and sisters got drugs, some of them got a girl pregnant when he's 16. So, and I was like, time to give her a 6-pack of malt liquor and shove her down some stairs. You're 16 years old, but nope, we're going to get married. The proper answer to the question, how many guns do you own, is less than I want. Well, yeah. Actually, I don't know if I care about the number, but there's guns I want that I don't have. So I guess there's always new guns I want. But there's some guns I can bear to part with. Although it's getting to where now I'm getting older, I've refined my collection to the point where there's fewer guns that I want to get rid of. It's usually something I've bought recently that I don't like if I find something I'm willing to get rid of now. Which do you like better, Fort Scott or Underwood? It depends. I like Underwood probably a little more, the extreme penetrators, but I do like those tumble upon impact Fort Scott rounds, and those Fort Scott rounds do amazingly well through like door glass or window glass and stuff for cars. So I like that too. Thank you for the patch and can't wait to receive it, Reverend Jeebus. I don't remember a Reverend Jeebus winning. Owner and have my car paid off. See, I don't have my car paid off because it should be almost paid off now though. I only financed it for 36 months. So it should be paid off like in the next 8 to 10 months. I broke my own rule. I say I'll never buy a car I have to finance for more than 2 years, but I did 36 because for some reason I wanted to keep my payment under $200. I don't remember why, but I did. So I think my payment's $199.92 or something like that. Let's see here. Please look at Sam Johnson emails. Wilson Combat clips thoughts. I didn't know Wilson Combat made clips. I like their magazines, but I don't know about the clips. Why is my chat not updating down here? Although I don't care if someone calls magazine clips. If someone calls a magazine a clip, I'm not the person who jumps all over them usually. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you call you can call the seer the thingamajig that holds the fire. I don't care what you call shit. As long as you know as long as you're interested, that's what matters. You can work out terminology later. Hi Yankee, how are you? Have you heard New York is trying to pass a law to get rid of the New York City SCOTUS case? Before they were trying to change the regulation, but now they want to change the state law. Do you think if SCOTUS rules strict scrutiny 2A cases will lower court follow it. Oh well, they won't really have any choice to follow, but to follow it if the SCOTUS sets that precedent. But that's exactly what they're trying to do right now by trying to change the law. They're trying to say, well, see, there you don't got a rule because they know a ruling will affect more than just New York and a lot of other states that love their gun restrictions but aren't quite as crazy as New York are like, you motherfuckers just ruined it for everybody because you go too far. You went too far and you ruined it for everybody, just like some of the cases are coming out of Hawaii, etc. Why people are giving them a lot of flack because they went too far. And now in California, you went too far and you fucked it up for every other state that wanted to have restrictions, but not quite as restrictive. Let's see here. What's this? Thank you video from Exit. Oh, this must be he got a pistol. Yep, he got a pistol.
This is a quick thank you video to the Yankee Marshal. I was fortunate enough to be the friend of the month, and I did get this nice ZZ75B, the Omega series convertible.
Yep, those are good guns. I like those. It actually played the first few seconds of the video there before it started spinning, so it wasn't too bad for my internet. Damn, 12 years for an okay boat sucker. Someone paying 12 years on a boat or something, is what they're saying. See, I've never wanted to own a boat. I mean, our friends have said, you guys should buy a boat and then we can go out on the weekends. I was like, well, for one, I don't like going out on boats. Not a big fan of it. And two, why the fuck would I want to pay for a goddamn boat? And the reason you want me to pay for a boat is because you don't want to pay for a boat and you don't want to pay for the storage, etc. I just think boats and RVs are those things that unless you're going to use them like every weekend, they're not worth the money. I mean, especially RVs. I'm like, for what we figured out, if we could pay for an RV, we're like, we should buy an RV. So especially now that we're up here, we have room to store it. We're like, we should buy an RV. And then if we go on vacations and stuff, we can just drive the RV. And I'm like, well, every time we go on vacation, we could just get really nice hotel rooms and still pay way less a year than we'd be paying on the RV on the payment alone, much less the depreciation and the maintenance. So I'm like, fuck that shit. And I feel the same way about a boat. Jason Pranger says, would you buy a cab at 1911? Oh yeah, if I was rich, I would. They're start at like $4,000 and go up from there. Like most 1911 custom 1911, they start in the $2,500, $2,000, $2,500 range, and they go up to around $4,000 or $5,000. Cabins pretty much start there and go up higher. So yeah, I can't afford those. So you don't mind if I call my Super Red Hawk Molnir? I think he means Molnir, which would have an M and a J, an OLNIR. I don't think you spelled Molnir very well. I assume you're trying to spell Molnir like Thor's hammer. I assume that's what you were trying to spell. Let's see here. Thoughts on the new Winchester 350 Legend round? I don't know. That was from Blitz, who donated. And the last one was from Jason Pranger about the cabot. I don't know anything about it. I haven't shot it. Don't know it. Don't have any experience with it. Probably have to find someone. Stephen Angel donated twice. I can't win anything. I will give you $50 for two of them, or name your price. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I'll be taking care of people who donated multiple times at the end, probably. So worry about it then. Don't worry about it right now. Or go over and donate today. You probably be almost guaranteed to win one, because as of right now, 8 people have donated today because my video came out late. So right now, everybody who donated is getting one. Of course, I say that 8 people will run over and donate, and then you'll be one of the 6 that doesn't get one. Choking a little bit here. Why am I choking? Yeah. You can just say mag. Well, yeah, magazines, mag. Washington taxes the hell out of boats and RVs. Yeah, I don't want to pay taxes on that shit. That was Stephen Angel, by the way, that was trying to bribe me out of a patch. Let's see here. Trying to find where I was at. Lost my place. Looks like I've got all the questions answered. Let's see. Not even seeing any that are just like regular. Any opinion on the YouTube channel CNR Arsenal? Not really. Aren't they like they're more into like the course CNR. I'm not really into like curios and relics that much. I find them interesting, like if I go somewhere like a museum and I actually see them and stuff, they're very interesting, but just see videos, I'm just not that interested in that. Let's see here. Trying to see if I got any more questions. Thinking of getting a Dan Wesson Specialist distressed. Do you think the finish will hold up to use and holster wear? Well, here's the thing: if it doesn't, it's just going to look distressed. That's what I like about it, because usually your finish wears around the creases, on the sharp edges, most of anywhere, and those areas are already distressed on the gun, so you're probably going to see very little wear, if any. So I say fucking go for it. They look so freaking cool. Look so freaking cool. Oscar, try typing the Yankee Marshall before your question without the quotes. There's Oscar. Yankee, what do you prefer? 40 Smith & Wesson or 357 SIG, and why? Well, I definitely prefer 357 SIG. It's just a better round for multiple reasons. It has better ballistics than the 40, has better performance in soft material than the 40, does just as well through hard barrier if it's a bonded bullet as the 40. But it also has the advantages of being a bottleneck cartridge that feeds better than any other types of rounds. You have bottleneck cartridges, you don't have problems with feeding. Like, how like old 1911s wouldn't feed flat hollow points? Well, you wouldn't have that issue if it was a bottleneck round, because it doesn't matter. So they just so much nicer. I like I like pretty much everything about 357 SIG better. And I think one of the reasons 357 SIG didn't do better than it did is because people saw the diameter of the bullet and they're like, well, it's just a 9mm, but it's not as powerful as the 40, which is not really right. And then they saw the casing and they're like, well, it's as big a casing as the 40, but it's a smaller bullet, so it's not as good as the 40. So they're just like, they're like, oh, it's no more powerful than 9mm. It's not as powerful as a 40. And it kind of confused them having the same size bullet, projectile, but a different side casing. So people got confused and thought it was like the worst of both worlds. People saw it as being like an El Camino, hauls like a car, rides like a truck. And that's what they looked at it as: 9mm bullet, 40 back end. So lower capacity, so it's not as good as 9mm, and just a small bullet, so it's not as powerful as a 40. So they went, it's like the El Camino of the gun world, when it really wasn't. It's more like the the Toyota Land Cruiser, who's kind of a perfect combination of off-road and on-road and truck and everything back in the day. Not the new ones, I'm talking the old ones back in the day. Doesn't 357 SIG have a lot of recoil compared to a 40? No, it actually has a little less, in my opinion. You're shoving less mass out the end of the barrel, and recoil is a reaction, the reaction to shoving the mass out the front. So, what's your opinion of the SIG Camp 380? That thing's a bitch. I mean, that's the most wonderful little mouse gun ever made, and just so freaking awesome. But the first time I ever went and fire it, Larry Seacamp used to recommend that you put wrap a Band-Aid or two around your trigger finger if you were going to fire more than a few rounds at the range with it. I didn't do that the first time I went. I felt something on my elbow, like it was a fly buzzing me or something. I went to swat it. It was blood. Blood was literally running down my arm and dripping off my elbow from where firing just 5 or 6 rounds through it had split my finger open, and it was just pouring blood down my arm, and I hadn't noticed. So really fun. What was this? I just missed something. Hot sauce Papa Burn. I was only supposed to work 4 hours today. My boss wanted me to stay a whole shift, so I'm watching your whole live chat. F my job. Hey, at least you got a job. I don't even have a job. In your opinion, what about the Smith & Wesson 586, 686 is better than the 19 and the 66? Well, I like the way the underlug is better. I like the fact that in the 686 you can get the plus and get the extra round. You can't do that in the 19 or the 66. I like the sight set up a little bit better, especially from the old ones than now the new ones. So I just like pretty much about everything about the 686 better than the. And don't get me wrong, I love my 19. I have a 19, love it. I got a 66, love it. I just like the that extra round really makes a big difference at the 686, 586 line. The plus is what makes it extra. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. My air compressor just kicked on again. I got to turn it off out there. I'm sure that's kicking on late at night too, but out here no one hears it, so it doesn't really matter. But doesn't really matter. Uh, yep. Well, I was about to say something, but I probably shouldn't say it. Well, let's just move on. Thoughts on the 400 Corbon round? I don't really have any thoughts on it. And I don't like those conversion kits that really super overtax the frames of guns like 1911s, etc. Not a fan. What was your favorite owned vehicle and why? Favorite vehicle. I really loved my Supra. Back in the mid 80s, I had a brand new Toyota Supra. Loved that car. That car was fucking amazing. I had a 71 Chevelle that was a really nice car, mint condition. I loved my old 66 Volkswagen Beetle. And I loved that car because it was my first car and I got the sucker running. I re-welded in floor pans, patched the body, put a new engine in it. I was just like, I got that thing to where it was primo. It looked like it just rolled off the factory floor. I even hand redid the lining and everything else, the tubings for the heat and the defrost. I mean, I redid everything in that car from the ground up and looked like a new car when I was done with it. But I really love my Jeeps too. I mean, it's hard once you start driving a Jeep, it's really hard to go to anything else. Uh, what do I think about 300 blackout? I'm like, yeah, just get a 380 or 308. Sorry. No, I'm just not. 300 blackout. I know it's better to be suppressed. I'm like, yeah, I just never cared that much about suppressing rifles. So just never worried about it too much. I just say just get a 308. You know. I Oh, he's talking about the 400, I think, here when he's saying, yeah, but it's a bottleneck cartridge. Yeah, I do like the fact that it's bottleneck, but still, another one I really like that's a bottleneck cartridge is it the 32 NAA? It's basically a 32 round with a 25 caliber bullet in it. It's neck down, and it's a little screamer too. I wish some more guns would come out available in that. Come out in little pocket guns, shooting that little bitch out of them. They would be awesome. Have any military surplus firearms, Yankee? No, I don't. Mark Livingston making dinner and noticed in the background the Yankee Marshal is like Muzak or white noise. Anyways, dinner was great. What did I miss? Not much. Does anyone ever really miss much if they miss one of these shows? We do so many of them because that's what I like to do is talk back and forth with my audience. That's the only thing that makes it really kind of worthwhile. Because most of the time I'm trying to say things that I know people aren't going to like, but they need to hear. Whereas in these chats, we just get a chitter chat. Although I did get some people get really mad at me the other day. Multiple emails about how they just couldn't watch our chat the other night because we started talking about marijuana and mushrooms, and we weren't appalled by them. One person even went as far as to say, there's a reason they call it dope. And I was like, oh, fucking grow up. It's just, I'm like, oh my God. That was Mark Livingston that asked what he missed, by the way. Calvin McDougall says 300 blackout is great in state that don't allow 7.62. Are there states that don't allow 7.62? Or are you talking about like for hunting or something? Kinky, the pain just doesn't justify the pleasure. Well, I don't know what they're talking about over there. That sounds kinky, let's just say. Kiki Finker says, can you tell Seven Wonders to go screw himself? If he could do that, he wouldn't be in here right now. And using a dildo doesn't count. I'm sorry. People say, oh, you fuck yourself with a dildo. That's fucking. No, it's not. That's just like sitting on a traffic cone or something. Most Californians don't allow them unless you can get lead-free rounds. I guess that's the thing about the 7.62 in California. Do you know anything about the 1908 pocket hammerless 380s? I thought they were 32s. They might be 380s, but I thought they were 32s. But they're cool, the little Colts. Do you have friends in real life? Unfortunately, I've been trying to work on that as I got older to where weeding them down. But yeah, I still got friends. And you might be like, oh, what's wrong with friends? Oh, it means you got to do shit because they invite you to things. And then when you do things, you're like, oh, we got to invite them or they're going to get mad. It's a hassle having friends, especially when you're as antisocial as I am. And I'm not the social director in the house. I don't control anything social. I'm just told where I got to be. And then I get yelled at about whether I can wear a hat or not. Because I always try to. And then sometimes I get yelled at and said, you have to wear a shirt with a collar and you can't wear a hat. What is the highest feet per second and energy I can shoot from a 629 Performance Center without damaging the revolver? Depends on the ammo you're shooting, but look up Sammy specs. But here's the thing: if you're loading your own, don't overload what the specs tell you to load. And if you're buying it, you're pretty much safe because no manufacturer is putting out stuff there that says warning will blow up your gun. And I would never shoot a heavy diet of the maximum I can put through something. The maximum you can put through something is not for test fire, not for range work or practice. That's for defense only. So if you can buy it on the shelf, I wouldn't worry about it unless you were going to shoot it every day. And if you're loading yourself, there's books for that. So just do what it says and don't try to think, well, I'll max it. I'll just give it. But so many people I've heard in my life where they're like, well, those specs they give you, that's always 20% less than you can do. They always tell you 20% less so that you don't do something stupid. So I'm going to go 15% higher. And that way I'm still under the 20. And then blam, they blow their gun up in their face. So don't do that shit. Have you ever shot the PX4 Storm subcompact in 40 Smith & Wesson? I don't know if it was 40 or 9, but I think it was 9. But I don't like the subcompact. Doesn't have a rotating barrel. And that might sound like a weird reason to not like it, but I don't like it. I like the regular one because it has the rotating barrel. That does not have a rotating barrel. Full size and the compact have the rotating barrel. Subcompact, regular lock breech, flip up barrel. Do I wear a banana thong? No, I don't wear thongs. I don't like stuff up my butt. I spend most of my day trying to keep my underwear out of my ass, not putting it there on purpose. I'm still a tighty whitey guy. Always have been. Raised on them, still wear them. Tried boxers in the military, and I'm just like, yeah, there's nothing much more fun than peeling your sack off the side of your leg every day, every evening, multiple times a day. So I've just never been into those either. Let's see here. I missed something. I thought I saw something come through. I missed. There was something I wanted to read. Oh, opinion on the 7.62 by 25 Tokarov cartridge. People love the Tokarovs. I'm okay with them. I don't love them. I think they're cool, but it's not something that I like go out of my way to make a big deal out of or make an effort to have. Jim White says free puppy money. You love free puppy money. Do Glock 22 Gen 4 suck? I don't know if any Glocks actually suck. Well, I've heard some people say that the small new single stacks kind of suck, some of them, but as far as most Glocks, they're going to be perfectly adequate guns. I would never use the word suck to describe a Glock. Glock owners, different story. But the Glocks themselves, no, I wouldn't say they suck. And I like the Gen 4s. I know a lot of people thought Glocks were perfected with Gen 3, and I understand why they think that. But I like the fact that you have the removable back straps on the Gen 4. It just fit my hand better than the previous generations. And also, I think that the pig nose and the frame warping is less of an issue in the Gen 4s than it was in the 3s and the 2s, because they don't tend to have it as bad. So I like the Gen 4s. Where was I trying to read here? I think I missed a bunch of stuff. Do I remember now? G-Webs and you have different opinions on the NRA. Do you still think they are unsavable? Well, yeah, they're unsavable because right now they've got nothing. But here's the thing: the only way you could save them is to basically destroy them and rebuild them, because the only thing they have of any value is their board and their membership, and membership's been declining. So they would have to be rebuilt from the ground up with the people and the mailing list, etc. You cannot do it with any of the ruling officers that are in there now. Can't do it. You can't do it with any of the connections to Ackerman and McQueen. Can't do it. And you can't separate them from Ackerman and McQueen. That whole thing about we're separating, that's bullshit. Well, have they closed NRA TV? I don't know. It might have. I don't watch it. But because they're about to close NRA TV because that's Ackerman and McQueen. That's not in any way owned by the NRA. So I don't know how they're going to cut ties. Dana Lash would be out of work. Coleon Noir would be out of work because they work for Ackerman and McQueen. Their contract is with Ackerman and McQueen, not with the NRA. So I don't know how they're supposedly separating themselves. The last time they separated themselves, when they had similar issues, but they didn't go as public, they basically just started doing business under different names, but still same prices, same people, same contracts. But no, the only way you can save them is rebuild them from the ground up after they completely collapse. And that's when the only things left of value is the actual membership and the membership roster and the mailing list, and start over. Oscar Malinado, do you think Glocks hold up well in 357 SIG and 40 Smith & Wesson? Well, that depends on what you're talking about. Because if you're talking about the more modern Glocks, well, yeah, they do fine. I mean, as well as polymer guns do in higher, more abusive calibers, let's say. They'll do just as well as most polymer guns. But you got to remember, when they first started making guns for those calibers, it was really a rush job. I mean, basically, Gaston Glock at like a SHOT Show event went over and saw that Smith & Wesson had come out with this new round, the 40 Smith & Wesson, that was going to be the new big round. He took one of the sample rounds they were giving people, walked back over to his booth and told his engineers, hey, I want a gun for this round within the next 6 months or whatever it was. And they did. And at first, their guns weren't suitable for that round. It was very clear that they were cobbled together to go for that round. The barrels were sloppy. They were unsupported. It was just not a very good fit, that caliber, with the way they were manufacturing their guns. Now, it's a different story. So I wouldn't worry too much about it now. Oscar Morlando says, do you what? Best side to go with a burger. And this is going to seem weird, but I don't eat anything with my burgers. When we make hamburgers at home, I eat 2 hamburgers, no sides. I like French fries with a burger. Now, if I'm going somewhere and having a burger, or if I feel like I want to put a lot of shit on my burger, I'll put lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise on it, and I'll have French fries with it. And I'll only have one. But this is one of my eccentricities, and this is one of the things you'll know about me that's weird. I have 2 hamburgers every time we eat burgers, every time I grill out. One has just ketchup on it. It's just meat and ketchup. I season my meat really well so that the meat tastes really good, but just ketchup, and that's it. On the other one, 2 slices of American cheese. That's it. Just bun, meat, 2 slices of American cheese on one, bun, meat, ketchup on the other, and I am happy. And that's just the way I eat my burgers. Let's see here. Mark Livingston says, I just bought a Beretta 86 in VGC, all original paperwork. Thoughts on it as an investment piece? I think it's a cool piece. What was he saying there? The VGC. He bought it in VGC. Oh, I think VGC means very good condition. Is that what VG means? It's in very good condition. Okay. And that is basically the flip up barrel. It looks like a Cheetah with a flip up barrel, but I think they're very cool and they're definitely not easy to come by and they're not something you see all the time. And I think the flip up barrels like you have in the 32s, etc., are pretty freaking awesome. So I think it's pretty good buy. I would buy one if I ran across one at a decent price. Did he say how much he paid for it? No, he bought it in VGC where I'm like, where's that? Kristen D, who was it said that? It was Mark Livingston. I believe I said it was Mark Livingston. Chris DeHaan says, how do you feel about the 92X features? Going to buy? Yes, I'm going to buy. I love it. I think the only thing that's disappointing to me that there's no decocker. So it's going to kind of be like a 75B, from CZ, where you're going to have to manually decock it if you want to carry it in double action, because it's not set up for carry. It's set up for competition use. So they didn't figure the need, because no one shoots competition starting in second and double action, I don't think. So no, so I say I don't think, but I wish it had the decocker. That's the biggest thing. I wish it was decocker. I wish they made a G model. If they made a Beretta 92XG, that would be freaking awesome. And I'm not crazy about the rear sight, but once again, competition sight, not carry sight. So that's a difference there. Yankee with a weird characteristic? No way. So I think they're talking about how I eat my hamburgers. No bacon in the burger. I don't put bacon on anything really, except for like a egg sandwich. I like an egg and bacon sandwich, but bacon is just one of those things. It's so bad for you. It's not even classified as a meat. It's classified as a fat. It's so bad for you. And it is a hassle to make. I mean, I don't like that microwave bacon or any shit like that. So it's a hassle to make. You got to get out the lard and you got to get out the iron skillet and you got to make a mess. It's just not worth it. That's the only thing that saves me from eating a pound of bacon a day, is that it's not worth it. Because if I made bacon, I'd eat it on a lot of stuff. But the only thing I will definitely go to the trouble of making bacon for is to eat bacon by itself, like if you make breakfast for dinner, or to make bacon and egg sandwiches. Onion rings. Oh, I love onion rings, but I don't need to eat a burger to eat onion rings. I love onion rings, especially good onion rings. Like we go to the skating rink, and believe it or not, our skating rink here, they make horrible food. I mean, it's horrible concession stand food, but for some reason their onion rings are freaking awesome, and so are their curly fries. Everything else, like their burgers, suck. Like my son ate one the other day, and he finishes it, sitting there, and he's eating his burger, and he sits there, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Worst burger I ever ate." I was like, well, then why did you eat it? Well, I was hungry. And I was like, well, I would have got you something else. Not worth it. So, I mean, the corn dogs are good. I'm like, you should have gotten a corn dog. Someone saying, very good condition. I was like, yes, I figured it out after a while. I wasn't completely ignorant forever. Just took me a while to catch on. Can we see Turnip? I doubt it. Not unless you're in a helicopter or something, because he's out in the backyard. Unless you're like on the hillside over here with binoculars. Why is it look at tilt barrel Beretta the prices go up? Was that supposed to be a sentence? But like I was saying earlier, I was starting to say I love those tilting barrels, because you don't have to rack around. So if you're like an old lady or something, or someone who has arthritis or issues, you just load your magazine, pop your barrel, stick one in the barrel, slap it back down, you're ready to go. You never have to rack the slide unless you're clearing a failure. And just hope that doesn't happen. What about a BLT? I don't eat BLTs. My youngest son loves BLTs. I'm just not a fan. My Tomcat Inox was around $350, and my 22 Bobcats averaged about $299. I don't know what they're talking about over there. I'm not talking about gun prices, but bacon in the oven is perfect. No, I don't like bacon in the oven. Don't like it. My mom tried that once when we were younger. She's like, I make the bacon in the oven in a pan. I'm just like, well, this is not good. So take baked chips, like eating baked potato chips. Ugh. We went tonight to Famous Dave's, and that's one thing I like about them is they bring you these homemade potato chips, or not homemade, but made there in the store or in the restaurant. They bring you these spicy potato chips that they make, their barbecue spicy potato chips they make in house, and oh my god, they're so good. They always come back and say, "You want more chips?" And I'm like, "No, do not bring another bowl because I'll eat that bowl too." And I just ate this whole bowl. Let's see here. Is it possible to successfully shoot 40 Smith & Wesson from a Glock 32 chambered in 357 SIG? Yeah, if you put a conversion barrel in it. If you don't, it ain't going to feed. It is not going in there. Not far enough for the gun to go back into battery. What about sausage? Sausage is what I usually make with breakfast instead of bacon. Make the link sausage, the breakfast style link sausage. Or I make patty sausage. I like patty sausage if I'm going to put grape jelly on it. The link sausages I like in regular maple syrup. The patty sausage I like with grape jelly on it. Yeah, let's see here. Make sure I haven't missed anything. That question got asked a lot about the 40. Yes, BGC means that. I was surprised more people didn't get freaked out about the fact that I ate one hamburger with just cheese and one hamburger with just ketchup. I thought people would have problems with that, but maybe a lot of other people do that too. It's like when I eat a sandwich too. If I go in the kitchen and I'm like, I'm making me a sandwich, unless I'm making like a big fucking Dagwood sandwich. Like occasionally we'll have sandwiches for dinner where I put lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, cheese, and then roast beef, ham, and turkey on it. But if I'm just having like, I just want a small sandwich because I just, want a little something to eat, I make either a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich. And to me, it's just 2 slices of white bread and meat. I don't put nothing on it. No salt, no mayonnaise, no sides, no condiments, nothing. I just meat and bread, ham and bread, or turkey and bread. Usually, I don't really like roast beef and bread alone. Roast beef has to be like bacon. Yet have like an au jus sauce or something if you're just going to eat roast beef. But ham or turkey is just it in the bread. What time of year do you usually come to Victoria, BC, and or Alaska? Usually in late May, early June. So usually around this time of the year, but right before like the cruise ships and all the tourists start coming up. But the weather has actually shifted. But this year we haven't gone for a couple of years because of the kids mostly. So that's how I make sandwiches. Yeah, I mean, all you need is the meat and the bread. In fact, I'll go in and eat bread just by itself sometime, and I shouldn't do that. And I don't do it often. But I'm like saying, like maybe once every couple of weeks, I'll go in and I'll just be like, I'm just going to have a piece of bread. And what I do is I just take it and I just crush it in my hand to where it's like a tube of dough almost, and I just eat that squished up piece of bread. And then I'm like, I'd like another one of those, and I end up eating like 4 pieces of bread squished up. Let's see here. High pressure fryer is the only way to fry anything. See, I don't have a high pressure fryer. I've seen those air fryers and the pressure cookers, and I've never owned one. My grandmother used to have like this great big metal pressure cooker contraption. But that was back and she was always like, stay away from it, when she was cooking stuff in it, because she's always afraid it's going to explode. But I've never had like a modern pressure cooker. Popeyes or KFC? Well, see, that's an easy question for me. I love Popeyes. And I like Popeye's mashed potatoes better with their gravy better, but KFC chicken's the best. Love KFC chicken. Let's see here. Trying to figure out where I was. Monte Cristo is the best sandwich. I like my favorite sandwich, and like I just described it, is I take Hawaiian bread. I love the sweet Hawaiian bread, and I put provolone cheese. Well, I put a little mayonnaise and then provolone cheese, then ham, turkey, roast beef, lettuce, tomatoes, and a little more mayonnaise on the top, and just a tiny brushing of seasoned salt with a little salt, pepper, and vinegar and oil on it. And there's my sandwich. That's my favorite sandwich, a club sandwich. A lot of people will put bacon on it, but like I say, bacon's too much fucking trouble. So I don't do that. I have a baby jacuzzi. My family calls it a crock pot. I have a crock pot. I got one of the big crock pots that I'll make stuff in every now and then. But next time in Alaska, check out Indian Valley Meats. What city is it at in? Is that in Ketchikan or Juneau or where? Yankee, do you like sausage gravy? Yeah, who doesn't freaking like sausage gravy on a biscuit? Biscuits and gravy was one of the things my grandmother made most mornings. Most mornings at my house, my grandmother made breakfast always because sent my grandfather and the kids all off to school with breakfast. But when he was at my grandmother's, she would always make. There was always eggs. There was always bacon. There was usually biscuits and gravy. There was always either pancakes or waffles, not usually both, but one or the other. And then there was always usually like ham, like sliced ham that's been grilled, just heated on both sides. But and you just kind of sat and it was family style. You just took what you wanted out of the bunch. There was always like two different types of eggs. There's usually scrambled and fried. But she got up early, made breakfast for everybody. Crock pot exists because people have to work all day. Yeah, that's usually what they're good for. Is this a food channel or a gut channel? A little bit of both. Crock pot food is nasty. It depends on what you do. What I use the crock pot for is like if I'm going to make vegetable stew or something, and I got to have my beef chunks, your stew meat, ready when I get home to make it. I will cook the stew meat overnight in the crock pot very slowly and use that to make my soup on the stove. I don't make the soup in the crock pot, but it's good for stuff like that, like getting the meat tender. You want tender meat. Do you ever eat Poen bread? No, not really. Nope. Air fryers are awesome. So are electric pressure cookers. I would like to have both, but I don't have either because I'm never willing to spend the money when I actually think about them. My daily breakfast is a 12-ounce can of low sodium V8. I don't know about low sodium, but I love V8. If I eat food for breakfast, I'll be super hungry all day. I get hungry for lunch faster if I eat breakfast. I do notice that. Like if I don't eat breakfast, I'll be like, oh, it's 2:00 and I haven't had lunch. If I eat breakfast around 8:00 or so, by 11, I'm like, I'm starving. When's fucking lunch? I think I've primed the pump that day and I got to feed the well. What is your opinion on Derringers? I love Derringers. I think they're very cool. I like them. I especially like those American Standards, the little double action kind of Derringers, the two-shot semi-automatic almost Derringers. But American Derringers, I think, make fucking awesome Derringers. And then, of course, there's the Bond, which is, very popular. So I like Derringers. Ketchup is Satan's jizz. No, it isn't. You can tell the difference. Trust me. I did answer the KFC's better, right? Yeah, I did. Let's see here. Have you seen King of Monsters yet? Yes, I did. Told everyone I saw it yesterday, while my car was getting oil changed. Yes, it's good. If you like Godzilla movies, you'll like it. What time is it here? Getting close to time to get out of here. I've been in here an hour and a half now. Do I have the TYMP pistol winner yet? Let's see. Here we go. Oh, we will have winner tomorrow. Had email issues with the candidates. Yeah, that's like I said today, when it was just YouTube data, it wasn't just YouTube. My Google wasn't even working. My emails didn't work. I didn't get emails for like 3 hours. So it was weird. So we're not going to be doing the TYMP Pistol Project or the Friend tonight. We'll do that all on Thursday. You can get that to me whenever you get it to me, and we'll just do it all on Thursday. This Thursday, I'll make the announcement. I think this Thursday is just a Shootin' It with Yankee, so that won't be a problem. Wouldn't be a problem either way. But so yeah, we'll just do the announcements on Thursday because I just don't have the stuff right now, and I don't have someone here helping me keep things rolling so that I can go over. Because actually choosing the friend is a pain in the ass, and I've stopped doing it beforehand because I like doing it live on air when never enough ammo is helping me. So without him here tonight, I'm kind of screwed. Because usually I used to do that stuff ahead of time. Fine Ape says friend gun. That's it Thursday also on that because I don't have never enough ammo here. Game of Thrones or Vikings? I don't watch Vikings, so it'd definitely be Games of Thrones. You ever hear of St. Clairsville, Ohio, near Wheeling? My family is from there. Yeah, I mean, I used to go up to Wheeling all the time. I used to have a lot of friends in Wheeling. So you can go up to Wheeling and you can know what it's like to almost live in Pittsburgh, but not quite as nice. Let's see here. I'm an hour away from where Bond arms are made. Do you ever make tomato soup, ketchup, and water? No, gross. I just make tomatoes. I like tomato soup, but I'm the Campbell Soup Kid generation. I remember getting wear the Campbell Soup Kid hat at school because you brought in the most labels from Campbell Soup cans and stuff that week. I was raised on Campbell Soup. If I love Campbell Soup. What do you think of self-defense insurance, and do you have it? I think it's a great idea, and yes, I do have it. Would you let Joe Biden sniff your hair? Yeah, he can sniff my hair if he wants. It's not going to smell good because I wear a hat a lot, so I'm sure the top of my head does very seldomly smells good. Did you let everyone know it's every second matters? I did in a video today. Yes. If people are asking what I open carry, just if they're asking, that's what I'm saying. I open carried this because I had this paddle holster, and it's a retention holster. And I wanted to tell people, look, I'm wearing a retention holster, so you can shut your fucking yap. But I wore this deck because it was just easy. So there we go. I wore that. My little knob was sticking out all day. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. Like I said in the video, to me, that's kind of like having one ball hanging out of your shorts. And some people think that's rude. To me, I think it's an icebreaker. But wasn't thrilled about that because I'm afraid this would come off and I'd lose it. But carried that today. And I carried that. That's why it's not on me right now, because I carried in that paddle holster. And that's the nice thing about them. When I sat down here tonight to do the video, I took it off and sat it right there. They come off so easy. If you're getting in your car, just pop and set it next to you in the seat. And then when you get back up, put it back on. It's just so easy. Let's see here. I think I've got everything answered. Oh, nope. Bunch of little super chats came in. Hold on. For the puppy, says Luis Nascimento or Pimento, however he says his name. Tonight is, even though we don't have Game of Thrones tonight, Fear the Walking Dead starts back up, just for anyone who's curious. Andrew Hefner says, Warthog 71 channel ad. Get guy, funny videos, pups. Go Shadow says, bought 7 long guns, 4 handguns from Automag sale. Automag sale, what's that mean? What time where you are right now? It is 8:38:53. 8:38:53. Who sells carry insurance to Washington residents? Well, it was USCCA, but I hear they're going to be, if they lose this case and Washington makes the changes it wants to make, they're going to be pulling out of Washington. So I'll have to go with someone else. So we'll have to see. Monster Shit says for the puppies. Donate $10 to say for the puppies. I'm thirsty. Very thirsty. Let's see here. I got cousins in Barnesville. Sounds like something to brag about right there. Oh, he said he sold his second Automag. Had 2. I wish I had 1 Automag. I've always wanted an Automag. Then I could pretend to be Charles Bronson. And of course, I wanted to do that when I was younger. Now I'm actually the age he was when he was famous. So now it's not as much fun. Does USCCA cover someone who gets charged with an unconstitutional law? What do you mean? If you break the law? No insurance can cover you if you break the law. That's illegal for insurance to cover you if you break the law. If you commit a crime, no insurance can cover you for that. It cannot happen. Yankee USCC just notified me either dropped me because of Washington law. See, I haven't gotten a notification yet, but I assume it's coming. Gary Pop at Popeyes. Hold on here. Let me. Where's my fucking? Oh, I can't do a Gary Pop because I gotta go out to the car and get the damn mags. I don't have the mags in here. I don't have any 357 Sig mags in here, so I can't do a Gary Pop. That's why I couldn't do it last time, if I remember correctly. Now I definitely can't do it because Matt's not here. I could put some cheaper ammo in this one. Let me take out the mag that's got the damn good ammo in it. I don't want to shoot good ammo. Let me see if I've got some crap ammo here. Hold on. Let me get another magazine and some crap. Hold on. I gotta find the 9mm. I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking. Well, it's 9mm, but it's not exactly cheap ammo. All right, I'll shoot this, I guess. Set that right there for now. Let me put my ears on. Let me find those. Hold on. Okay, can everybody hear me and see me? Let me move this out of the way. Good God. Well, that's doing that lately. But here we go. 3, 2. I don't have any eyes on, so I'm going to close my eyes. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Shoot that mag. Fucking P mag. But we'll set this aside now so I don't get. Let me put my headphones back on. There, I hope y'all are happy. Now it stinks in here like gunpowder. And I had to shoot one of my, oops, let me put my microphone back where it goes. I had to shoot one of my Fort Scott ammunition rounds, so I couldn't find any cheap 9mm over there. I would have had to walk across the room to do that, and I didn't want to have to walk across the room. Just stay up. Stay up. There we go. Someone says, well, that was different. Why was that different? We do it all the time. What did you shoot? I shot my clearing bucket. That's what clearing buckets are for. It's a big bucket of sand. It's what you shoot into if you got to clear your gun. Gunpowder doesn't stink. No, I know, but it stinks of gunpowder in here. Stink doesn't always mean something negatively. Something can stink of team spirit, or it can stink of money. People just always think stink means negative. This desktop is brought to you by the bold and refreshing taste of Diet Beef Soda Zero, all the beef flavor with none of the fat and regret. That sounds gross. But I'll have another drink of my water because I'm thirsty. Got the watermelon flavor. I never had water. I didn't even know they made watermelon until this week, and I got watermelon for the first time. It's pretty good. It actually tastes like, imagine if you just took a bottle of water, took a watermelon Jolly Rancher, sat it in it, and let it dissolve. That's basically what it tastes like. Very watered down, but still tastes exactly like a Jolly Rancher. Except just a very watered down version of it. I like the stink of new money. Smells good, doesn't stink. No, stink doesn't necessarily have to mean bad. Let's see here. I'm trying to get back to my window here. Yeah, see, if you look at the old definition of stink before you get into this new crap, to give off a strong or pungent smell. See, that's not necessarily negative. That's just one of the things. Of course, some of the others are like having a strong, unpleasant smell, fill a place with a strong, pungent smell, be very unpleasant or scandalous, be highly suggestive. I guess that means stink means to be highly suggestive too. Didn't know that. But yeah, let's see. I think nowadays most people just think stink, means bad. But to be overwhelming or something doesn't necessarily mean negative. Let's see here. Do you like Star Wars or Star Trek? Yes. You can make a wine box by mixing. You can make wine by mixing Kool-Aid and beer. I don't know why I added a box to that. What did you shoot? Oh, I answered that already. That was different. Demonetized. My chats are already demonetized. I haven't had a monetized chat in years. They just YouTube. That's why today I was just like, yep, they finally banned me because they demonetized me a long time ago. And it didn't. Yankee's purse is on the floor. No, that's my range bag. I was at the range today, so that's my range bag. That's why I had to go over there to get my ears, because they were over there from where I came in from the range today. Just put one in the chamber of Gary without mag and we'll fire. Yeah, but I don't like doing it. I don't like loading guns that way. So that's asking for a negligent discharge. I actually said negligent, right? Let's see here. Using all your saved ammo for desk pops. A little Teflon tape will help keep that muzzle protector on. Yeah, it would if I put some on there, but I ain't putting any on there. I hadn't really thought about that, actually. I thought about putting some other stuff on there, like some Loctite or something, but I never thought about putting that muzzle, the Teflon tape. And Lord knows I got shit tons of it around, because every time I do anything like that, I buy new Teflon tape, because I never can be sure I'll find the old one. And then I find like 10 of the old ones really easily. So I have tons of Teflon tape laying around. In fact, I have new Teflon tape because I installed a new one of those rain shower heads. It's like that fucking big in our shower that goes up and then just pours rain on you. I installed one of those in our shower. And of course, I bought new Teflon tape, and then in the fucking box with I bought Teflon tape, and then in the box with the goddamn shower head, Teflon tape. So, someone says Jesus may get your crap together. Well, who are they talking to me? I'm not getting my crap. If I haven't got my crap together by now, it ain't happening. Yankee, what's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? Oh. I like, and it's because I just got used to it in the Army. They had the fucking lemon lime Kool-Aid all the time. I loved that. The lime Kool-Aid, the green. I loved that Kool-Aid. And I also really, really like cherry. I'm a big cherry Kool-Aid fan. But the way I make Kool-Aid is you can't even see through it. It's like syrup. Teflon tape on a barrel that would get hot. Well, I don't know. It just wouldn't. I don't think it caused any real trouble. Crap goes down the sewage. Don't try to pick it up. I don't know what they're talking about, and I don't want to know what they're talking about. Teflon doesn't care about heat. It shouldn't, but you got Teflon pans. That's it. I don't think it'd be any problem. So how is that rain shower head? I like it a lot. It does have a little side handle thing too that sits across on the other side. So you get shot from, you're getting rained on and then you're getting shot from the side with stuff. But you can turn the other one off, but it's still pretty good. Do you still give hand jobs at the Waffle House in Birmingham? I've never given a hand job at the Waffle House in Birmingham. I have eaten at Waffle Houses in Birmingham multiple times. Many times, but I've never given a hand job in a Waffle House in Birmingham. Those were away trips. I was on vacation, taking a day off. In fact, you get, look. It's like when you got your day off and you're in the men's room and someone walks in, you get that feeling. I really, the only reason I ever get feeling when people walk in the men's room when I'm in there is because I'm like, now I got to wash my hands, or at least pretend to, or these people are going to think I'm disgusting. Hawaiian Punch. I like Hawaiian Punch, but it was not my favorite Kool-Aid. This is how I know he isn't my real dad. What are they talking about? Joe Gray. What is he talking about? Hence Teflon pans. Sugar water. Yeah, there's nothing better than sugar. I like sugar, and water's one way to get it in you, I guess. Red flavor. Yeah, that's what. Of course, we didn't really get Kool-Aid when I was a kid. We got this like Flavor Aid crap. It was the Kroger brand. It was the cheap brand you could get when I was a kid, because Kroger was like the only grocery store we had anywhere near us. Johnson's Market and Kroger's across the river. So we got the cheap generic Kool-Aid my mom would pick up. We got generic everything. Everything we drank was generic. We didn't have soda because my mom couldn't afford soda. When she started getting a little bit more money where she would actually buy some soda, it was, of course, generic soda, which we drank. I got to where I drank generic soda to where when I first started drinking Pepsi, I was like, this don't taste right. I get used to Pepsi. But we were poor. Do they still make Tang? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Double strength Kool-Aid is the 10 millimeter of afternoon drinks. Yeah, I always made mine about double strength. How's your 380 doing? Any problems? I haven't shot it in a couple months, but I haven't had any problems. Never had any problems with it. Yankee works the Troutdale TA. I know where that's at because it's near the outlet malls, and there's a Harry and David's there, and I go there every year to get like fruit baskets and pears and stuff for people for Christmas and holidays. I've never even stopped there though, but I turn right at it a lot, but never go to it. Soda ain't good. Oh no, soda's fucking awesome. I love soda. I wish I could still drink a lot of soda. Wish I could just drink. I used to drink a 6-pack of Pepsi every day and loved every one of them. They're so fucking good. Barks root beer. Oh, red cream soda. Barks red cream soda. Oh my God. You can't say that ain't good. That's fucking heavenly. But bad for you. Going to Kings Island soon. I wish I was. I haven't been to Kings Island in a while. I haven't been there since when I was last there. The Diamondback was still new. It was like a year old, I think, when I got there. So I really liked the Diamondback. That is now still one of my favorite roller coasters. The Diamondback. That first drop is freaking amazing in the Diamondback. Ever been to Oak Harbor? Not that I know of. Easier to take out a vampire with a handgun or a bow and arrow. It's not easy to take out vampires at all. They're fast. That orange drink they used to have at McDonald's. I don't know what that is. I don't really not much into that stuff out of the fountain. And that's the only time I will still drink regular soda. If we go to a restaurant, I drink regular soda because I love fountain soda. Fountain soda is so much better than canned or bottled soda. Wilson Combat. Should I get the trigger tuned on a Beretta Centurion or not? Should you do a tuning on a regular Beretta Centurion or on your Wilson Combat Centurion? Because if you're Wilson Combat Centurion, then no, you don't need it. It's already pretty much done. I drink that off-brand chocolate milk, aka dirt water. I loved chocolate milk when I was younger, but I can't have chocolate milk now either. Rogelio Garcia says, does not loading your magazines all the way help the spring life? Nah, never. That's stuff that people say that has no actual merit in life or the world. No, it doesn't. What wears your spring out is compressing and decompressing. So actually that can make it wear, especially if you're shooting at your range, that can make it wear faster because for every, let's say if you're, instead of putting 10 rounds in it, you're putting 9. Well, that means for every 100 times you reload that or 10 times you reload that magazine, you have to reload it 1 extra time. And since decompressing and compressing is what wears out your magazine, you're doing it 1 more time. You're doing it 10% more times. So you're wearing your springs out faster. Anything that tastes good will kill you. Yeah, unfortunately. What's there to do in Washington other than freeze your balls off? What do you mean freeze your balls off? It doesn't get that cold in Washington. We're temperate climate. We're near the ocean. We don't get that cold. It gets colder up here where I live. We get snow up here, but they seldom leave and get snow like in Vancouver and Portland. It's like they'll get it like once every 6 years or something. But although I think it's been like every 3 or 4 years lately, but still, it's not often and it's not bad. And it lasts like 3 days usually. So it doesn't get that cold here. But we've got hiking, we've got kayaking, we've got mountains, we've got temperate rainforests. We've got high plains deserts. We've got everything you could want. So we've got everything from 4-wheeling and desert running to zip lining in the trees to, hiking the mountains, skiing, inner tubing. We got pretty much anything you want to do. Buy some Vegemite. Oh, no. Ugh, no. Vegemite. Ugh. Yankee Marshall, can you overdose on jizz? The very fact your mother is still alive, I'm betting not. Spokane gets both ridiculously cold and ridiculously hot. Well, there are places on like the east side of the state that get bad, but no one fucking lives over there that has an ounce of sense. You live on this side of the Cascades if you're going to live in these 2 states, or else you're a moron. The trigger's already tuned. Well, yeah, when you get the Wilson Combats, they already have the D spring in them. They already have the better trigger parts, the hammer. So you're fine with it. Let's see here. My mother died of jizz poisoning. That's called AIDS. Your mother died of AIDS. That's not overdosing. It's totally different. You forgot Bigfoot spotting. No, don't come here looking for Bigfoot. Leave our Bigfoots alone. Vegemite doesn't sound appealing. It's not. It's gross. Vegemite, I put it in the same category as like caviar. One of those things that you think, well, that might be good. People like it. And then you try it and you're like, ugh. So it's just gross. Didn't Michael Douglas have a related problem? That was cunnilingus. He got throat cancer from cunnilingus, apparently. Which I assume he got like what do they call it? The HPV was probably what he contracted that contributed to his throat cancer. Well, jizz is 90% water and has glucose in it, so it's good for you, says General Puffy Pants. Sam Johnson email for Conlaw Super. I already did it. I read his. Didn't do you send another one? Hi Yankee, do you think any justices from SCOTUS will retire soon? Well, no, not in the next year or so. They'll keep Ginsburg alive on respirators if they have to. Let's see here. It is about time for me to go. It's almost 9 o'clock, and we started late tonight. So, so I'm out here late. I would usually be back in the house 3 hours ago. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I think I got all the chats answered here, the super chats. If for all you folks that think 40 degrees Fahrenheit is cold, come to the northern flyover states. Oh yeah, those states fucking suck. Like, oh, when it comes to the cold, oof. Oh, we get some chilly time around here too, but nothing. I mean, here it's really cold if it gets down to 20. You know, if it's 18 degrees, you're like, it's frigid outside. But it usually in the winter up here, it stays about 25 to 30 degrees. And down below, down the hill, it's about 35 to 40 degrees. So it's down there, it's too warm to snow. So they just get rain. Up here, we get snow. But you get halfway down our hill, down to walk towards Washougal River Road, and the snow just stops. It becomes rain. Ginsburg is a head in a jar by now. It's getting close. Why don't you drink alcohol? Well, there's two reasons. One, I was raised by an alcoholic, and I never saw a reason to be like that or even take any chance of being like that. And two, since I did not develop a taste for it when I was younger, I can't stand the taste of it as an adult. It tastes horrible. It's like beer. Beer tastes like shit. I'm sorry. People think, oh, it's great. No, you like it because you like to get fucking buzzed off beer, and you've gotten used to the flavor of it to where you enjoy the taste now. But give an 8-year-old a beer and see how they react to the taste of it. Not that I'm saying give 8-year-olds beer, but don't give 8-year-olds beer. The only reason beer took off like it did is because it was safer to drink than water. Beer like helped civilizations because the fermented grain alcohol and beer and stuff like that, you wouldn't die from dysentery from drinking it. Whereas if you drank water out of most wells or city water sources, you would actually like die of dysentery. So it was better for you. Crazy fishing in Washington. Yeah, there's really good fishing here. There's even fishing down here in Washougal River. What did I just see something? I thought I saw something about. Is 380 CP powerful enough to kill Alaskan mosquitoes? It is if you hit them, but hitting them is not going to be easy. Because they're only the size of like hummingbirds, and it'd be really hard to hit a hummingbird with a 380. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I drink Diet Mountain Dew now for the caffeine, but it has to be diet, so it doesn't have any sugar in it. And people go like, "Oh, artificial sweeteners are bad for you." They're actually some of the most tested stuff in the world, and they've never found any real negative side effects from them. Whereas, something that's it definitely is bad for you and kills more people than pretty much any other thing, sugar. So get your priorities in line. Learn scale. So. But what I was saying, thanks to everyone for coming tonight. We'll see you all again on Thursday. We'll do the friend gun. We'll do the TYMP pistol project gun on Thursday. Vincenzo, if you're listening, once you know who wins TYMP, which I don't know if he's listening or not, he probably not. If you know, once you know the winner, go ahead and let them know that they won. That way they can let me know and I can get the gun sent to them. But I will announce that on Thursday. And we'll also do the friend giveaway on Thursday. Hopefully, I'll have Never Enough Ammo helping me then. So thanks to everyone for coming tonight. Thanks for making what we do possible by doing what you do. And also thanks all of you that have been donating to the fundraiser over on TYMP Pistol Project. Hopefully, I'm hoping by the end, everybody will get a patch if you donate more than once. But unfortunately, we've crossed over the point now to where because I said that, where I said, well, so far everyone who's donated today is getting a patch. Well, that was because 8 people had donated. Now another 7 people have donated. So now 5 people that donated today are not getting a patch. And I shouldn't have said that, because now people aren't going to donate because they're going to hear that, well, there's no chance of, well, there's still a chance of winning today, but you don't get a definite chance of getting one today like you would have had. But like I said, thanks to everything you all do, because it makes it to where we can do what we can do. Keep in mind those little puppies I showed you at the beginning, the parvo puppies we're trying to save, and go over and donate to the Fur Friend Animal Rescue over at tympistolproject.com. And that's all I got to say for now. I'm scrambling here to find my window so that I can close it. I will see you all again next Thursday.